Hey YouTube, here is my, you see what I did? Doesn't look the same colour as the Ukrainian flag. Guitar, this is a peavey Raptor Plus EXP, which I bought a couple of weeks ago. It was black, just cleaned it up really. It's got, handcrafted in China. Yeah, so it's got the decent type of tuners on it. Rosewood neck, playing quite well, or playing good. Neck's not a skinny one, strat neck, sort of fat, chunkier side of strat neck, kind of getting towards a telly neck perhaps. HSS layout, fitted a coil. Did I actually have a name for this switch? Right, so it's a humbucker in the bridge. This switch, if you push it back, turns it into a single coil, and if you push it forwards, it turns it into a single coil, adds in the neck, so you get more sounds. I could count them out. So you start with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sounds. So good anyway. So a couple of reasons I did this. I've been watching a lot of stuff in the Ukraine war, and it's like, yeah, don't want to be too political about it, but I mean, these people are just, they're having a shit time, basically. I don't think anyone's really going to argue that. Ukraine's having a bit of a shit time. So this is my amp, my Softtech Mig 60, which I bought brand new 25 years ago, something like that. Didn't really know what it was I had, but they're amazing. You see these in the back of Josh for JHS. Well, speaking of that, actually, he's just done a video, if you've watched it, of the Mosky Black Rat. He's done I did a video comparing like a £400 hand-wired tube screamer against the Amazon Basics one of them, basically a £700 original Rat thing against the Mosky one, and I think it was a Mosky clone, the Golden Horsey, which I had one. It was a silver horsey I had, whatever one it was, against a, was it £7 or £10 for a clone. Did a sort of an AB video thing, and actually the Mosky Rat, the guy was totally adamant that it was better. He was a huge Rat fan and had like the original white letter. I don't know, but he was like, yep, that's definitely the better of the two. And it's like, I think they were saying it would cost $30. I've kind of gone off topic a little bit here, but I paid £12 for that brand new. It was pre-Brexit, of course, but I remember seeing it and going, what, 12 quid, really? Free delivery from China for a Rat pedal? Just buy it out of curiosity, and it's good. But I've since, it's been on my board for ages, but I've since gone back to using the real Rat, so I'm probably going to put that in again, because I was thinking, this has got the Turbo Rat switch on it, so I could have a Rat and a Turbo Rat. Back to subject. Yeah, so Ukraine are having a shit time, so I'm thinking I'm going to donate, and so Softtech made in Star City, Russia. Kind of feel a little bit guilty using it, so playing a Ukrainian guitar through it kind of evens it out a little bit, and I reckon this has cost me something about 50 quid, excluding time. Right, no, I'm assuming I'm working for free. It's about £50 this cost me, so I'm thinking if I was to sell this for 100 quid, I was trying to bend my head around this last night, and then so if I sell this for 100 quid, yes, and then just give that to Ukraine, then I have given 50 quid. Is that right? So I've already paid 50. Yes. So basically, I figure if I sell it for 100 quid, which must be worth, I'll give all the money to Ukraine. You can maybe even choose an interesting charity. I've not really looked into it very much. Obviously 100 quid's not going to stop a war, but it might buy lunch for a platoon or something. It's got to be helping. Yeah, so that's the plan with this guitar. I'm reckoning that cost me 50. I would normally sell it for like 100. It didn't work out brilliantly. There's a bit of a blob in the paint there, which is really annoying, and it's not really that easy to paint two stripes, so it's a bit crappy looking when you get real close, but you can see it from the distance. It's quite effective, and these peaveys are pretty good. So playing through the Softtech, I will do a proper review of the Softtech with a guitar I know a bit better at some point in the future, but at least now I can comfortably have it back. Ultimately, it doesn't sound as good in here, the Softtech, as pretty much all the other amps. It's too big. It's like when you've got it, it's got two inputs. It's got a low and a high. The low one is manageable, but it's a bit kind of woolly sounding. That might be something to do with the cabinet or something, I don't know. But when you stick it into the high output, it's just a screaming demon of beautiful soundness. Because I was always thinking there was kind of not really any point. Why didn't I just use the Softtech on low power all the time and not bother having any other amps? But even the wee Laney and that, and probably the Blackstar, all sound, I would say, better in here at this volume when you can still talk when you're playing. So yeah, so it's a wee bit of a guilt. So I don't feel guilty about playing the Softtech, which is my favourite amp. So neck position. Of course, there's no reverb in the Softtech. Yeah, okay. Position 4. Actually, to be honest, the Softtech sound. It's not. I'm really not impressed with the way it's sounding just now. So perhaps maybe if I put some put the rap pedal on. Actually, I can't really. I'm playing it through that 3x12 cab. That's a humbucker. It's a single coil. Women tone. So this is now the Dave Gilmore, so you get single coil here and neck pickup as well. I suppose if you go to the Gilmore switch and put there, you got all 3 pickups on. I'm really struggling with this amp not working very well. Maybe it's because they don't like each other. It just seems like there's a big pillow in front of it. And unfortunately I've had to unplug. Although these amps are on and that's on, but it doesn't have a speaker plugged into it. Well, I'll turn it on anyway. See if it likes the Laney better, even though the Laney, I normally play the Laney through that speaker cabinet, unplug the cabinet stuck into the Softtech. So this is the Softtech with the 3x12. I'll switch over to the Laney. Give it a couple of minutes to warm up. Yeah, so that's quite a bit of a revelation there. So the Softtech, the best amp I've ever played, my favourite amp in the world. Doesn't really work in the house. That's definitely, and that's just using its wee internal tenor speaker. I know for a fact that amp sounds miles better through the 3x12. It's just got so much more zing to it, doesn't it? It's kind of got stratty sounds. Put push 2. you go. It's always good to get surprises. I did not expect that I'd be running the wee Laney, not even through a speaker cab. It does have an expensive speaker in it, but I always thought it sounded shit. Like a 10-inch, a Jensen something. I always thought it sounded shit when it's on its own, but when you put it through the 2.12 it sounds great. Whereas if I switch over onto the Softtech, it doesn't have any of the bite that it. But maybe it's political reasons. Maybe the Ukrainians or the Softtech's just not wanting to work with this guitar, or the other way around. If it's feeling a bit, maybe the guitar's feeling a bit invaded. It's getting its own back by being a bit muffly. Do that amp. Kind of weird, It does actually sound better though, doesn't it? It's a bit lacking in bass because it's such a small speaker, but I mean it's just so much more clearer, much more bite. Try this Black Star, which has also got, see, that sounds like. That's just using its internal speaker as well. It seems awfully good. I mean, really, the Softtech's coming in third place just now, which is a real shame. But I think I'll have to try the Softtech at. I'll use the proper input before I finish the video. I'm currently sitting with a bit of a conundrum. See my. Did I do another video? Did I leave this one? The Ukrainocaster. I'll just leave it. So here we go. Ukrainocaster. It's also got I painted the. I might do this for more guitars. Basically, I had the blue paint out, so it's got a saltire in the back, and I will engrave it to say. I don't want it to say "Glory to Ukraine." What was it I heard? Just 3 words. President blah, 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 said. What was it? Peace, victory, freedom, something like that. Might engrave that on the back of it. So, yeah, like £100 or something. Give money to. I mean, that £100 I'll give to Ukraine somehow, refugees or something like that. That'll ease my conscience a little bit about using the Softtech amp, and yeah. Plus, it's actually a really good guitar for £100. You get something that's a bit more interesting. It was just black. Sounded really good. Actually, that Black Star, isn't it? I was thinking it wasn't very good either. going to do the unpopular thing. I'll just turn it on. Okay, I'll turn it on. What am I going to do? I'm going to put on. I'm going to kill the black start. Oh, kill it. Go for a 4 amp video. Yep. So there's the soft tech, and this is it in the proper input. So it should be a little bit louder. See, in the proper inputs, in the high input, it does have all. It's not doesn't sound like you've got a sock sitting in front of it, and that's it. That's it clean as well. But it's pure making the floor shake, and no exaggeration about making the floor shake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to. Where did I put the power lead? I'm going to try and pass that over to my other hand. Where was the input in this? There. There we go. And this is instant on. This does something. This amp, the wee carton, I know it shouldn't be good. I shouldn't like it. It's, oh no, tubes, these are all valvey ones, all worth an awful lot more, but it totally does something. It just sounds different. I really like it. My pals up there days, I really think that thinks that up sounds shite in the videos. It's like maybe it sounds shite in the videos. It sounds amazing in the room. Guitar up for sale, £100. All goes to Ukrainian orphans or something. You can even specify which Ukrainians it goes to. Not just, hey, I'm Ukrainian, geez it. A proper charity type thing. But the peavey Predator, Raptor Plus. Good, solid guitars, that was why I bought it. I actually bought this for a demonstration day I did at Blitzkrieg, just next to the Barras a couple of weeks ago. And I basically got it and just quickly sorted it working, showing that you could buy a guitar for £40, and just with some time and a set of strings, you know, that's how I got to my £50 worth of stuff. It's like a £5 worth of paint, £5 for the strings, £40 for the guitar. But I did have to rewire some stuff. I had to break in and rebuy the pickup to get this fancy switch code. So when this switch is in the middle, it's just the standard wiring. It's just humbucker single. If you put it there, it's like a Strat. You've got single. If you put it forward, you get the extra 2 Gilmore sounds. Again, I'm pretty sure I invented this switch. I don't think it's in. If it's in, I've never seen it in a guitar that I didn't build. So I don't know. And saying that, I did have an idea for a double neck guitar about 6 months ago that I thought was a great idea I'd never seen, and I saw Jackson had put one on Facebook the other day. Like, damn it, it was my idea, but I was too late. My pal told me the other day, I don't like this, I'm probably going, maybe you're right. So when I demoed his guitar, I used Delaney, but now back in it, this sounds great. It's really defined sounding. It doesn't have any, maybe that's because it's not valve, it doesn't have that squish. It's got more, it's just utter clean. Even when you put a rat pedal in, you can hear the pedal much more. I was also a wee bit of a tester for the yellow paint. I was going to say there was a few reasons I did this one. It was a tester for the yellow paint because I was going to I'm going to paint my Strat yellow, and I was going to paint the SG. I'll just do it in this video rather than make another one out. This is my new SG, which I picked up when I found the bargain when I got it a couple of weeks ago. I've been talking about one that's been not brilliantly relicked, but it's a really nice guitar and I really like it. when I got it, a guy contacted my Facebook page and offered me an orange amp for it. And it's like, I've got enough amps, I don't need any more amps, sorry. No, but cheers, but no. And then he sent me a message this morning. I'll give you, what about these two guitars? And it was a peavey, very simple, in fact the same model as the one that I made the Octobucker thing out of. Or was it? No, because it never had the electrics in it. The one that I did for Scott, that Scott sold to the, donated to the Icebox place. This is a peavey Telecaster, which is not slightly off. I did one, the Octo Blaster, with 8 pickups in it. It was a similar model, but the one that Scott had was the one that had a Fishman bridge, the power bridge, and the power chip in it, which means you can mix the magnetic and the piezo, which you can't do in any of the guitars I've built, because you can't mix magnetic and a piezo. You think, oh, just put them both onto a switch. No, something to do with impedance or something. You need like a special circuit board thing. I looked it up and it was 80 quid for buying it for my Schecter. So I just never bothered. I just put 2 output jacks on it. So I just, you want to run it into an acoustic amp anyway. But this has got that in it, and I'm pretty sure that when those peaveys came out, they were like 300 quid or something like that. And I'm pretty sure the Fishman Power Bridge, a lot of people were buying them and then just taking the Fishman Power Bridge out it, because it was actually kind of cheaper than just buying a Fishman Power Bridge. I'm pretty sure the Power Bridges are like 300-400 quid. So it's got that in it. So I'm sitting there going, well, I was also quite interested. There was a good guitar as well. Excellent. Sort of not quite a Telecaster. I think it was double bound black, but with the acoustic thing in it. Interesting. So you want to swap that and a Yamaha Revstar, which I've not even looked up, but I mean I know what a Yamaha Revstar is. I think it's the one that kind of looks a bit like an SG. It's kind of the cherry red colour, and it's quite basic looking. So I think it's the cheaper of the Revstars, but they must be worth a couple hundred quid, I would have thought. And then the peavey, I hate to break up guitars, but it might be a case I might be able to take the power bridge out and get a couple hundred quid, and then still have the peavey, which I can turn into a buckycaster or something, or whatever, or just turn it into a normal telly. And the orange amp, the guys went to swap it for that, and it's like, he's already said the first read it was like pure. No, sorry, it's like, yeah, it seems like a great deal, but I'm not really interested. I want to keep that because it's really good. I've been using it in the studio. It's like, it's smashing. And then I was like, hold on, did you say and? The amp's a orange 30 watt combo. It's kind of, a 12-inch speaker, kind of this sort of size. It looks really good. It's not orange, it's black. But so if you're going to have an orange and it's not orange, but I mean, I think the black one's actually quite rare, and it's kind of like the look of that as well. It's like, I'm wondering. It sounds silly. I've never had an orange amp, so I don't really know what an orange amp sounds like. Really, it's kind of interesting. And we're talking for what I paid for that, dividing it up. It's like, can I afford not to do that deal? Especially if I'm going to basically be able to get my money back, but I paid for that by selling one of the guitars, probably, or very nearly. So I end up breaking even and getting the other guitar and an amp for basically nothing. Also, that's quite a thing for Trade Tuesday, isn't it? If you can trade it up, it's like, yeah. I think I did actually say Trade Tuesday at the start of the thing, because my original plan with the SG was I was going to turn it into a Tony Iommi one. And then I was looking at it, and it's like, then I was going to try and paint it yellow. And see, the thing about it, although the relic, it's not let's just say it's not brilliantly relic, but I kind of get used to it. It doesn't bother me anymore. It doesn't really affect the way it plays. It feels really good. It's like, it's that thing about not wanting to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's like, kind of looks broke, but I was still thinking one of the things I would maybe like to do is like, see if I got like a stain, so you could darken down the bits that had been scraped off, so they weren't quite as viewable from a distance. If it looked like that, it's like, if you look up close and go, oh, it's all scuffed, it would kind of look cool, like the way my EBO is, which is from the 60s. No, it's not a 60s tribute, it is a 60s one. It's got it's more dented than that, but because the wood's kind of aged, it doesn't have the bald patches are kind of the same colour as it looks alright. Oh, decisions. So I might get an orange amp. I think I'm going to have to do it. I've told the guy I'm going to have to think about it. But currently it's a probably yes. I'll get back to him next week. The thing is, I've got no justification for having another amp. I don't, but stupid time coming up. One of the reasons I like this amp so much, just one of them, apart from it sounds amazing, it's got like a light bulb here that tells you it's on, and here's the knobs. Whereas the Black Star and the Laney are both on just now, but the light bulb's away at the back on the top, so I can't see it. And so's the Laney, and it's like. Also, they're both 10-inch speakers. So that's 5 watt. 5 watts probably pushing the being able to gig it thing. I think. It probably isn't, to be honest. It's probably fine. The 15 watts definitely big enough to gig, but I kind of probably want to have it running through a cabinet with a wee speaker. I'm just looking at whether that can be a 10 watt, or can that be a 10 watt and that be a 10 watt? A 10 inch. Maybe it's an 8 inch in that. It must be a 10. I'm rabbiting on. But the wee orange, a 30 watt all valve orange with a 1x12 cabinet. That's going to be a really good gigging size, and I don't need a cabinet with it. As I was saying, I'm looking up the reviews of it. But yeah, I'm like 30 watt 1x12 is the perfect gigging amp because a 2x12 is really pretty heavy and doesn't sit on the passenger seat of your car as easily. And it's like, this is true. This is true. You know, and you could probably carry it with one hand. It won't weigh as much as that because I'm sure there's elephants that don't weigh as much as that amp. It's ridiculous. I took that into the studio a couple of weeks ago, and to be honest, I didn't like it. It's kind of doing the opposite with the Softtech. That's when you put that up really loud. It sounds the same as it does quiet. So it's like, I'm not used to being able to go. I'm not in a situation where I can go, and it's pure super zingy, super sprightly and clean, but really, really loud. I think it's 100 watts. You know, I'm sitting running it just now with the clean volume and the master volume at 3, and it goes up to 10, and it's got overdrive channels. It's so loud, and the thing is, when you start cranking it up, it sounds amazing, but so clean. And I'm kind of using the Softtech. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Half an hour. Yes. You know, my videos are always a big ramble. I should probably do a much shorter one of this guitar. So the Softtech kind of failed in this one. Maybe the Ukrainocaster just doesn't like it, which is fair enough. When I first plugged it in, it was like, no, this guitar was sounding really good last week. And then plugged it in there, and it's like, So the Softtech needs to be run at full whack. The lower input, not good enough. But it sounded so good with that SG. Just taking up so much space. I've got an SG. As I've said, and if you watch it, I've probably said it hundreds of times before, about 3 weeks ago, that I've only ever had one SG. I've bought a couple, you know, the Epiphone ones to Bucky buy and stuff, and I do actually have my original Epiphone SG because I bought that when I was 18, so I've just kept it. I never saw the reason to buy another SG with Strats and Tellys, and I've got lots of them. I've bought them, kept them for a few years, and sold them on. The SGs I just never, because I had the one I wanted, which was that one. It's a 1990 to 1991, or 1990 1994. I was looking it up last night. Someone told me that I think you found all Gibsons on nitro finish, because in a video I did a couple of years ago I said it was dipped in plastic. I still think it looks like it's dipped in plastic. If you look up Wikipedia, it says nitro. It's like, and they look like nitro. The nitro I've seen, especially in something that's 30, 40 years old, it's got like, you know, that sort of crazing and cracking on it. Like, that's what, 86, so that's only 4 years older than that. And that's all, you know, cracked, and the thing that costs so much money to get it done by Murphy Labs, where they sit with their razor blades and all that, rubbing tea bags on it and stuff, all that stuff, it just does that. Nitro on that and the Schecter base, whereas that just looks like it's coated in red plastic. But maybe it isn't. But there's only 1 year they made it with there's a couple of years they made it with the ebony fingerboard and those pickups. So it's the 498 pickups that are in that. I got the multimeter out last night just to nail it, and also the thin headstock. Yeah, so I was going to notice that before. This has got a white. The 60s Classic has a white headstock. Well, it doesn't. No, the 60s Classic has a normal headstock. My SG Special there, which you can't see, has a thin headstock. So that's the way it goes. I assumed that was a normal headstock, that was a wide one, but no, other way around. That's a really nice guitar though. I was looking up on Reverb, and that folks selling them for 800 quid and all that, and it's like, okay, they're kind of worth that. I don't know if it was one of the ones that had the easy tuners on it, because it's got Grovers on it just now, but that one of them used to come with a, you know, the Force, whatever it's called, the automatic robot tuners. It had them on it. That one's got Grovers, so I don't know whether that would did they come as stock with Grovers. one of the things I was actually thinking of doing is I actually got a set of shawlers that are kind of like the ones with the green snot on them. They were kind of maybe going to be going on that, but not from selling it. You can have the Grovers. Decisions. So I'll be having a think about this for a week. So you might see me at some point with a couple of on a peavey. The thing is that I'm kind of worried about the Rev Star as well, because I bet you the Rev Star's really good. I've played a few of them. Not the cheaper end one, but I mean the cheaper end one. I'm going to assume it's kind of like the way Ibanez do it, where it'll be simpler. It won't have binding on it, sort of thing, and it maybe doesn't have inlays, and all the things that don't make any difference to the sound, or don't make any positive difference to the sound at all. Pal Scott loves his tone plastic to get the extra plastic tone. That's why you want the Gibson Custom, where you get tone plastic on the fingerboard and tone plastic around the body to plasticize that tone. Whereas I kind of like simpler guitars, and this is what the Rev Star is. So I don't know. I bet you it's really good. I'm kind of almost willing to. Well, I would bet you it's a pure belt or a guitar. Like that Ibanez I was playing at Scott's last night. So this will be coming up during the week at some point. Whatever day. The guitar will probably up for sale. I'll put it up next weekend. What's the date today? I don't know. I can't see it. No, I can't see it. The 4th. So probably the 12th, whatever it is. Round about then, I'll put this up for sale. You can give me a message if you're interested in it, so I don't have to bother advertising it. But good guitar, plays fine. Had it all set up. Plays good even. Give it a good clean. It was just, to be honest, it was just really that dirty. But I kind of I pure scoured the market to get this one. I was looking at it, a lot of guitars. Kind of the guy was just selling them for it was 45. He was selling them for all of them, and there was a huge. They were all the same price, and it's like some of them were just crap. And this one, as you look at it, and it's like it swung me by. But HSS, that's nice, a bit more interesting. Peavey are always good. Let's be honest. You're never going to get a peavey that's just shite. Which it can play shite because someone's been messing about with it. But the actual wood and the actual original build and all the parts are all good. Rather than being thrown away, sort of thing. That was kind of what swung with it. This was either this or what was it? I was looking at it was an Encore, which was quite nice, but it had the crappy tuners. This is the decent tuners. So I'll be honest, looking at it, I was thinking this was going to be a Buckycaster or something, and it's like, well, it's just going to cost me a tenner for a set of decent tuners, isn't it? So that's just a tenner that I have to charge more for the Buckycaster, sort of thing. It's the same thing kind of happens if you're looking at buying ones that's missing like bridge saddles. If you've got to buy them, if you've got them in your parts box, never really bothered me when the electrics don't work, because I've got boxes of electric stuff and pots. If you buy them cheap enough, if you buy 10, you can pick them up for 50p each. So I've always got 10 of them sitting there. Anyway, in output jacks, I just bought a bag of them because they're always burst. So 30 minutes. So if you're interested in this guitar, you've been talking for a long time. Rock on. Catch you next week.